Hey friends, Ernie here, Trader of Futures. Today is October 12th, Friday. It's 1 p.m. here on the eastern seaboard in the southern suburbs, the woody southern suburbs, the lush and vegetative southern suburbs of Boston, Massachusetts, the Boss Town. Haven't been into Boston for a long time, real long time. I prefer the woods. Prefer the woods to people. Although, I like you people. All right. As per the title of this particular show, Bitcoin ETF is dead. Another Bitcoin ETF proposal shot down, and many more to come for very, very specific reasons. And that is that nobody that has been able to produce an ETF proposal has been able to guarantee to the SEC that they can have safeguards towards manipulation and fraud. And in particular, what they're looking for is they're looking for sharing or cooperation between exchanges so that in the event that there is a problem, the SEC can step in and confirm trades made across exchanges to see, exactly what happened, perhaps even step back transactions like they do in normal markets. And in order for that to happen, you would need regulated exchanges. The problem is you don't have regulated exchanges, and even if you did, there would still be no way to walk back transactions because there is no one holder of keys. Now, let's suppose that an ETF was granted. I don't think that it will be, but let's just dream. Let's go into fantasy world. It would really be antithetical to everything that Bitcoin is about. Bitcoin is about freedom, absolute freedom from censorship. Now, when you have an ETF, essentially what happens is you have a single steward that is holding all the keys. And what they do is then issue shares for their holdings that you buy. So you have no actual ownership in Bitcoin. And because you have no ownership or control of the keys, you have no voting rights. Voting rights is perhaps the quintessential power and ability that you have when you own Bitcoin. So in the event of, say, a soft or a hard fork, you will have no say. Everything will be controlled centrally by this holder of the keys. So for that reason alone, I don't believe that an ETF will ever work. But that's from the viewpoint of a Bitcoin maximalist. And if some Bitcoin maximalists will sort of forego that right, that power, for the hope that the Bitcoin ETF will bring in or rush in and enterprise and institutional money so that their shares will go up in value. So they are even willing to usurp their principles for the hopes of Lambos and villas and hoes. Even the maximalists are compromised. They are so compromised. Greed will take over. Bitcoin will never work. Well, maybe it will work someday. When pigs fly out of my butt, that could happen. In a dystopian world, I suppose that could happen. From the SEC, what they see is fraud, manipulation, extreme danger for the retail customer. And they're simply not going to sign off on anything like that. They're not going to okay an ETF where they know for a fact that they have no control, no ability to step in and walk back transactions or discover where the manipulation happened. Suppose there was a vote for a Bitcoin anonymous fork. That would be a good one. I mean, that again would be kind of antithetical to this whole idea from the SEC's point of view, being able to introspect transactions. Bitcoin, remember, is not it's not this sort of fungible asset. It exists in everybody's wallet, and it evolves based on whatever the voting and the voting public, the developers, the miners, the whales influence it in what direction it might go. It could fork in many different directions. There could be updates made to it. There could be anonymity built into it. It'll change. So there's no way, absolutely no way for the SEC to ever get a hold of Bitcoin and provide any kind of regulatory surety. It's simply not going to happen. So you might as well just dash that idea out of your heads. An ETF is never, ever going to happen with Bitcoin. And that means that there will be none, zero, nada, zippo institutional involvement. There's no way that an institution is going to convince their shareholders that, oh, Bitcoin, good idea to put in our fund. Yeah. No way. It's not going to happen. Fraud is one of the biggest things that the SEC is worried about. And 2018 is the year of Bitcoin fraud and crypto fraud. Already this year, in total dollars, Bitcoin fraud is four times that of 2017. And most people roundly recognize that there was tremendous fraud happening last year with the ICOs and lending platforms and blah, blah, blah. Scammers, well, there are even more this year. Way more. Why aren't we hearing about it? Well, mostly because the interest in Bitcoin has waned. It has dropped to anemic levels. No one really gives a shit. No one gives a fuck about Bitcoin. Go to Google Trends. Look it up. Every day, the interest wanes. The volume decreases. The volatility is on a death march. Now, a lot of people will, especially traders, will look at lower volatility as potential, kind of like the Big Bang Theory. When there's zero volatility, there's zero movement, there is zero potential, that's when there's infinite potential. Big Bang. Where is the Big Bang in Bitcoin going to come from? Big Bang Bitcoin. A BBB. We may be getting to that low potential area right now. Volatility is as low as it's ever been in Bitcoin. Could we see some spontaneous bang out of Bitcoin? And where will that bring us? Will that bring us up or down? Could be either. And this is what people want to invest in. This is what people think is going to give them the riches, that is going to solve all the problems in our central bank system. Now, I'm not saying I'm not any fan of the central bank system. That is also fraught with manipulation and fraud and malfeasance. But it's the fraud that we love and know and own. It's the devil we know. Bitcoin is the devil we don't know. And even though it's sad to say, that's exactly where the human condition is. We are much more willing to go with the devil we don't know than the devil we do know than the devil we don't know. And that is just a fact. No getting around that. All right, time to go to the chat. Well, I also need to give mention of the market. Man, it is under pressure. Big time. Huge. The spread between mid caps and large caps has been widening. Mid caps are performing unbelievably poorly compared to large caps, and that unbelievable poorness is spreading, is getting bigger. That gap is getting bigger, and it's been getting bigger for the past month, almost like just dropping off a cliff. Now, I can demonstrate this, but I think that this also presents an opportunity, particularly if you think that this is nothing more than a correction, unless you think this is the big one. If this is nothing more than a correction, then I see a huge opportunity with a relatively safe bet. And that is to go long the mid caps and short the long caps or the big caps, or long the mid caps, short the big caps. In other words, you can represent the mid caps with the S&P 400 futures product and the big caps with the S&P 500 E-mini S&P. And so by going long the S&P 400 and short the S&P 500, even if both go up, the bet is, because of this huge gap that has been created, that there's going to be a regression back to the mean in that gap. That gap will then narrow. And that narrowing, by doing the trade that I just talked about, could be a very, very safe way, even if the market goes down, quite frankly. Doesn't have to go up, doesn't have to, can stay the same. But I think that that gap is going to narrow. And that is a great trading opportunity. Problem is, when do we get into it? When do we realize this thing? How do we know? That is the trick. I guess it's when you feel like the gap, that relationship has been so stretched, so put under pressure, that it has no choice but to come back and regress back to that mean. All right, now we shall go to the chat. News unit. He's stacking Junto coin. Good for you. You mean hodling, because there's no way to stack Junto coin. Everybody just has their, I would hodl it for a long time. Never going to let it go. Keston, whales give up. They've got a big stake to just give up. Raziel, I haven't seen any ETF news today. The ETF news is gone. It's done. They revisited it a couple days ago. It's done. Asdi, I don't know how you pronounce it. Bitcoin will reach 30K by end of year. Of course it will. Like I said, when pigs fly out of my butt. All eyes. Fraud everywhere? Yeah, Ernie, you're right. Nothing new here, though. The ETF talk, I wouldn't call fraud. I'm not calling the talk fraud. I'm calling the reason why the SEC is not approving. It's just one of the many reasons, but there are many other reasons. I mean, that's not even the biggest reason, but it is significant. If that by itself, that would keep them from approving an ETF, but there are much more systemic reasons that they're not going to allow an ETF. Rather, postponing the inevitable while they prepare the back end structure. There's no repair. There is simply no repair. It is impossible to repair. And even if they do repair, the ETF will be antithetical to everything that Bitcoin is about. That in of itself, excuse me, itchy nose again, that will be the doomsayer to Bitcoin. The Asdi says the traditional stock markets equal scam. No, I disagree 1,000%. You could believe that, and you can sit there in your high horse and take this sort of conspiratorial route. And I'm not saying that there isn't fraud and scam within even the stock market, but it is nothing compared to Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Nothing. I mean, it's not even close. As much as there is, it's not even close. All eyes. ETF allows people who don't understand Bitcoin or have knowledge of access to the private keys roll money in they might not have been able to elsewise, which is the idea. All right, so I agree with that idea. What I don't agree with is the implementation. Ain't gonna happen. Because that is the fundamental aspect of Bitcoin, and that is having responsibility over ownership. Ownership without responsibility is not ownership. And you don't have ownership. You neither have ownership nor do you have responsibility. You simply have this thing, this share that you own, which is nothing, with complete lack of transparency. No, Ernie, much sooner than pigs fly out of your butt. ETF is a dream. Yes, Keston, yes, ETF is a dream. I believe even the Bitcoin messiah, Andreas Antonopoulos, does not believe in an ETF. Even him. This is one of the very few things that I agree with him on. But yeah, even the messiah, the Bitcoin Jesus, Andreas Antonopoulos, the soy boy, Greek boy. I don't know many soy boy Greek boys, but he's definitely one of them. Very rarely have I come across a Greek boy, at least in the traditional family, growing up. Very, very few have I found that were soy boys. But yeah, he's one. Sasha's Ernie, kindly no, of course, curse the ETF, please. I'm sorry. I am here to do one thing, and that is to speak the truth. It's the only reason why I'm here on YouTube, exposing myself to the world, is to speak truth and to help people. I'm just trying to help you. I am, I don't even have a stake in this. I'm glad I don't have a stake. Well, I have some Bitcoin. I have it around just so that I can transact. I take payments in Bitcoin, which I promptly turn into fiat as quickly as I possibly can. Security tokens will be the next megatrend. Well, here's the thing with security tokens. In order for them to have any real value, they need to have an associated network. Without the associated network and without enough people to participate in that decentralized ecosystem, they will have no value. So it's kind of a chicken and the egg thing. Just because it's a security token doesn't mean that it will be useful if there isn't a sufficiently large network in order to support it. I'm buying more today, Ernie, but love the show. All eyes, good luck to you, man. Bitcoin is down. It's down on that ETF news. There's little to hold it up. Little. Sash, nah. Security tokens will be the next target of the CFTC. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they're going, well, no. On the CFTC, no. The SEC, yes. The CFTC loves these things because they look at, the more products that they can have out there, the more power they have. The SEC doesn't look at it that way. They look at it from a policing point of view. So the CFTC are the yes men, and the SEC are the no men and women. Ernie, please stop yourself. No institutional investments. Yeah. I can tell you for a fact that if I were advising, and which I have been in the position to do for many, many years, if I were advising institutions on whether or not that they should invest in Bitcoin, I would give them a very, very long list of pluses and minuses, and those minuses would overwhelm the positives. And I would vehemently suggest against it. And I would open their eyes to what is the implications of investing in Bitcoin or any crypto or any kind of decentralized platform in terms of their costs, their return on investment, the cultural upheaval that it would take, their business models. There is nothing that is copacetic there. Ernie, playing dumb now. Nobody believes this crap. Sounds like you're acting. This isn't real. No. This is what I do. This is bombastic Ernie. It's, if you knew me in real life, you'd know that, what you see here on the video is me in real life. This is 1000% Ernie. Oh, by the way, hit that like button right now. Share this video, please. I ask you. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, Asdi, this is real. Blame the ICOs. Well, they were one of the conduits through which many scammers would operate. But now that those loopholes are now being cut down, or if they want to play in a big market like the US, they need to play pretty. In a lot of other markets, they don't have to, and they may, in fact, still try those ICOs in other markets and completely usurp the US, but that'll be a failure. So it's not just the ICOs. They'll find many other ways to commit fraud. Truth Clown, how you doing? Woo! I've waited all week for this. Adam Pragnell. Why am I? It's like my mustache here is like going up my nose. What did they say? With an itchy nose, that's a sign that you're about to have a fight. Adam says, me and whale holding mod price will pump in 10 minutes by mod on Binance, now 30 to 35%. That sounds cryptic to me, so I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. I understand that you will be pumping in 10 minutes, which is probably 10 minutes by now because I haven't gotten through all these comments. But if you're saying that there's going to be some kind of pump, Let me go over to Bitcoin and see if any pump is ensuing. I don't see any pump. No pump. Ernie's morning mantra: to bash cryptos, and he's enjoying it very much. Yeah, well, look, I enjoy helping people, saving people from misery. That I enjoy a great deal, and also providing them with services that are really worth something, like my AI setups, not just mine, but mine and my partners and my partners. Those have real value, real value. And I'm just starting to introduce them. I haven't done a full-blown marketing push on this, but they're going to be big. And if you want to get involved in it and you want to see some real value, I believe that there is real value in this system that we've been working on for the past 4 years. Patholot P. Some people, they have the weirdest names. I don't understand them. Ernie, your points about the ETF seem very sound. It makes me confused, however. Why are you long-term, next few years, bullish on it? No, I didn't say that. I didn't say I was bullish. I said that there would be a bear market for at least a year to 2 years. That's what I said. That does not imply that I am then bullish after that. Because first of all, I cannot prognosticate the future, especially that far out. I mean, there may be some monumental change in this whole crypto world that kind of answers all the problems that I'm elucidating. So I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I am not saying that I'm bullish. I'm saying that there's a potential to be bullish sometime in the future. I do agree that the whales are taking the market as its bitch. Oh, and yeah, the top holders, their share of the market increases every day. Every day. For those hapless Bitcoin wannabes, when they have had too much and they have to divest or they get wrecked, where do you think that money goes? Where do you think that Bitcoin goes? It goes to the whales. Daniel Malferrari. Daniel Malferrari. It's like a bad Ferrari, a bad car. People should have, a Ferrari would be, isn't a Ferrari, would that be a horse or a Mustang, or I don't know. Is Ferrari, I'm just wondering if that's an Italian, because you see the horse symbol on Ferrari cars. I'm interested in this now. What, Google Translate. Italian? No. So does Ferrari, what is the meaning? Let's see. What does Ferrari mean? So Ferrari is the third most common surname in Italy. Wow. The word has the same root as Italian ferro, or iron. Ah, it means iron. So Ferrari, does that mean bad iron? Anyways, people should have at least one Bitcoin while they can trust. They can, true or false. They should have at least one Bitcoin. Under what pretense? And at what cost? There are some people that have one Bitcoin when it costs 20,000. Those people are fools. There are others that invested in it a long time ago and they got in at under $1. So what do they do now? Do they invest $6,000 in a Bitcoin and feel like, okay, now I have done something, and at least I am, hedging my bets one way or the other? I'm out $6,000 potentially. Raziel, but I was told 2018 was going to be the year of the alts. Actually, no. If you remember back, and I made this a big point back in 2017 and through the beginning of 2018. This is when I had my other channel, the channel that was growing, that some jerk-offs stole my identity and then deleted. I said that this year would be the year of remittances. In other words, all the ICOs that would basically have to give their money back and follow a new path of SEC compliance. Was I right? Yeah, I was right. I was right. All those Bitcoin maximalists and supposed pundits were all wrong. All of them were wrong. Yet I was demonized and shot down, business basically destroyed, and they were allowed to continue with their dream world. Sash, there is no point of the ETF for the latecomers. TD Ameritrade and ICE will launch crypto trading in the next few months. BTC is not about the institutions, won't be most likely. So you're saying that ICE and TD Ameritrade will have regulated exchanges. And you believe that. Raziel, Andreas says he doesn't want financial products meddling with Bitcoin. Yeah, well, again, this is, one of the things that I agree with him on. So that presents a problem. Most people don't understand how they're going to get from point A to point B. How are they going to get from where they are now to the point where they don't have to watch John McAfee eat his dick on TV? Renee Frank says, Ernie, short dog here. How do you get to like $1,800 if my platform only give me like €5 to €10 input, and that platform auto closes my trades and lost so much money? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. It could be the translation, but I'm not exactly sure what we're talking about here. Hold on a sec. Hello. This is Ernie. I am. However, I'm sorry, but right now is really not a good time. If you could call back, that would be great. All right, take care. Bye. Yeah, so I'm trying to discern this, Renee. I'm sorry if I don't understand. Short dog here. How do you get to like $1,800 if my platform only give me €5 to €10 input, and that platform auto closes my trades and lost so much money? It sounds like over leveraging, first of all, but I'm not sure exactly what the case is there. So sorry if I can't answer your question. Truth Clown. Cuckalopolus. 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 I know what a cuck is. Akara. Hey, Ernie. I heard the market is setting up for a Black Monday or Tuesday. What do you say? I don't know. Is there going to be a big crash? I don't think so. CB, the government will get more tax revenue if the SEC approves a Bitcoin ETF. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think that the harm that it will do and the problems that it will cause, at least in today's environment and with today's ecosystem and infrastructure, it would be a net loss. Liam Sheehy. Ernie, what is a soy boy? I have never heard that expression. Well, you got to Google it. but it is a type of person, well, first of all, that prefers soy or soy milk over meat or regular milk. Typically associated with somebody that is maybe a social justice warrior, maybe a little bit of frail, both physically and intellectually. Ernie, Coinbase usage down 80% from the all-time high. That's not surprising, but they're still actually making a little bit of money. A little bit. Polymath will be the network platform provider for all security tokens. Check it out. Already know about Polymath. All it is a glorified form. Polymath is not a solution. It is nothing more than a form. It's like a utility. So I disagree vehemently with that. I've investigated it fully. I see no real benefit to Polymath. Arakara. Also, a quick question on the Apple OTW trade. Do you use SMA or EMA? Either. Doesn't matter. I would prefer, see, the thing is, I think I would prefer an SMA only because you would get a more smoothed out result. I would prefer something that would give me a better surety that the trend is a little stronger longer term, where an EMA would be more short-term sensitive. And in what time frame, the daily or hourly? I've worked on the 30-minute, hourly, 4-hour chart. I've never worked the daily chart. So it works in all of those. But I think probably closer hour and 4-hour, 30-hour, 4-hour, they all work pretty much the same. CB, I have a scientific joke for you. Why can't you trust atoms? Why? Because they make up everything. Sash says, the monumental change will be another huge pump out of nowhere. Yeah, potentially. But see, then that will just bolster the SEC's assertion that manipulation is everywhere. Delta Digger. Well, Delta Digger, hello. I don't recall you being in here before. This is like playing blackjack. Longer you stay, likely you lose. Yeah, for most people. For most people that really don't understand blackjack. See, because in blackjack, if you understood, first of all, that the casino, just by playing perfect hands, the casino still has about a 51% edge. But by counting cards, which they discourage, you can obtain an edge of about 2 to 3%. Counting cards as well as betting appropriately when the shoe is heavy. But there are ways to beat blackjack. The problem is that the casinos have gotten very good at detecting people who have invented those ways, even the most sophisticated players. And they'll beat your ass into the ground if they think that you're cheating them. And quite frankly, even if you're not cheating them, you're just good at it or lucky, they'll beat your ass into the ground. Then the other way that they get you is that they comp you just about everything. Hotel rooms, shows, meals, so that you'll get so wrapped up in all of this that eventually you'll end up losing. All right, Pafalot says, thanks for the comments. And Pafalot as Paf, smoke weed. I never heard that expression. Been on this earth smoking weed for 50-something years. Well, for 45 years. Never heard the term Paf as smoking weed. Derivative from my name, kinda, haha. By the way, is there a place or books where we can get better understanding of the ETFs? Well, there's just tons of information on ETFs. you have to be a little bit more specific. You continue. I feel a fool for not knowing these things because the bullishness in the market told me a fairy tale that it doesn't make sense. I wasn't a trader before crypto, so it was easy to get deceived. Yeah. See, the other problem is that as a non-trader, getting into the market thinking that you're going to do well without having a good system, a systematic way of approaching the market and a philosophy around that, basically you're setting yourself up for a fate worse than those who count cards at the blackjack casino. Oh, come on, please. Don't pull the dick card, I would say the dick card. I think you're probably referring to when I was talking about John McAfee. Coinbase usage down, let's see. We already said that, Liam, that it was down 80%. Ali, will you add crypto payments for trade setup subscription? So if I add them, are you willing to, so then you'll buy the subscription? The problem is that there is no way, there is no credible service out there that I have been able to find where I can do crypto subscriptions. So what I would have to do is either offer that you buy 3 months at a time or a year at a time. And if that's something that you're willing to do, then I can then offer crypto subscriptions. But they would be, you know, buying like a 3-month or a yearly chunk. Addison Coggins. Welcome, Addison. What's going on with the interest rate and the market this year? Break it down for us. Thanks. It's not too hard to understand. The Fed is doing what they do. They are progressively increasing short-term rates with the hope that that will then trickle up to long-term rates as they perceive that the economy is overheating and they're trying to stave off inflation by curbing it with interest rates. Some people think they're too aggressive. Some people think they're not aggressive enough. The problem is that I believe that they're all wrong and that they should just allow market forces to do what they do. We'd be better off on a gold standard, and that would render the actions of the Fed completely impotent. And that's the way I would prefer to see the Fed, impotent. Renee Frank, you were doing the gold contract from the AI, and you said the profit was $1,800 per contract when I said I closed the contract on Wednesday. I don't know what your point is. Okay, I really don't know what your point is. Are you saying that you didn't make money? If you didn't make money, then you were doing something wrong. Or you did make money? I don't know. Or you read my stuff late? I don't know. First of all, I'm not here to tell people when to get in and get out unless we are doing something that is outside the alert setup. That might require some additional strategy, and we put it in those terms, in terms of strategy and probabilities, and then we'll put it up to the trader to make their decision. So in other words, we might say something like, well, this exit, if you exit here, it has a 90% probability. If you exit here, there's a 70. If you exit here, there's a 50. That's something that we're going to be adding to the alerts sometime in the near future. Is BitMEX just a gambling platform, or affects prices? Well, BitMEX has the greatest volume of any of the exchanges out there. The platform itself allows for huge leverage in trading what they call Bitcoin options and futures. So is it gambling? I mean, it's gambling if you don't understand how to trade options and futures. For most people, that's true. So I guess for the vast majority of people, it is, in fact, a gambling platform. Keston, crypto investors stop making videos. crypto investor stopped making videos. What do I think? I don't know. But he was one of the other few people out there that was critical of the market. And it's interesting that he stopped making videos about the same time that my channel was deleted. So I don't know how to read into that, but there might be something there. Truth Clown, Mr. Ernie, do you see the social media stocks to continue bleed past 50% loss? Also, will EA continue die? EA, is that Electronic Arts? So I don't know much about EA. I haven't been following it for quite some time. I've traded it before, but, and will social media stocks continue to bleed? Social media stocks, if we're talking about Twitter, Facebook, I think that their business models, and particularly things like Snapchat and others, are really hurting right now. I think they've reached some kind of mass adoption. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll continue to bleed past 50%, but that would be pretty significant if they did. CB, in your opinion, what will cause the next stock market crash? Democrats getting into office, for sure. Arakara, thanks, Ernie. So do you have the price breakdown for your AI trade setup if we sign up for the quarterly or yearly, like with discounts? So right now I have a yearly price if you pay with fiat, and that gives you 2 free months. It's $990 because it's $99 a month. So you basically pay for 10 months to get 12. So it'd be similar with crypto. And for the quarterly, I don't know that there would be much of a discount. Maybe a small discount. There won't be a 25% discount. It might be a 10% discount. And so I will, like I said, I have the yearly payment up there right now. You can do it right now. There's a link on the site. So we have that. If you want the crypto version, just email me. I'll provide you an address that you can send it to, and it'll follow along with the same price. And you can buy either quarterly or yearly. I will create a page today that will detail some of that, but I don't have a firm date when I'm going to release that. And that would also apply for the course. The course will basically cost the same with crypto regardless. There's already a 50% discount on the course if you buy it with the subscription. So Sash asks, maybe the folks that pump BTC market will let's see, market like to shove it in the face of the SEC. In the face of the, maybe you mean the SEC. Mount Gox dump in December to February was a spit in the face of all regulators. I don't think it was a spit in the face of regulators. There was nobody regulating it. It just created a lot of problems that they had to try to clean up, and people that they had to put in jail, quite frankly. 33 Mag, how you doing? Are you long from 1K Bitcoin if that happens? Or are you long quicker? So I have an accumulation plan from 4K down to 1K. So I will start accumulating once it breaks 4K. And I will add all the way down to 1K. Not a significant portion, but I think that is worth starting to invest there. So 33 Mag, I'm sorry, Arakara, can you talk about the AI trade setup like in a webinar? Yes. Yes, I will be doing webinars with the AI trade setup to attract people. That will be one of the marketing things. I'm building up the information on the site. If you go to the site on the front page, there is a link there for more info. It talks a little bit about that. There is going to be a white paper, but I'm going to reserve that white paper for subscribers, I think. Haven't totally thought that through. High voltage says, top of the afternoon, Ernie. Zzzt. Renee, which proper platforms are out there that I can use? Because I asked you about interactive brokers, or that I can use because I asked you. Well, I've said that interactive brokers is one, TD Ameritrade, TradeStation, Infinity Futures. There's, any of those, plus any of the online retirement companies have proper futures access, like Fidelity, Charles Schwab, etc. But there's a lot of great ones. The ones that I mentioned are all very good. And what did you buy? What did you buy one contract for? $1 per contract. All right, I think what you're asking is what is the commission on the contracts? So most of them are going to be anywhere from $1 to $2.50 per contract as a commission. The contracts themselves, the cost of the contract will be determined by the underlying asset. So they're all a little bit different. They're all specified on the cmegroup.com website. But the commission for each one for getting in and out of the trade is really broker dependent. And it is generally somewhere between $1 and $2.50 per contract. Sash asks, gold, crypto, cow manure. Standard won't fix anything. The problem is not with the standard, but with the greed in those who run it. They will discard the gold standard in no time, 1 decade or more. So you're saying that if we adopt a gold standard, that it's really not a good idea, because eventually it'll just result in fraud. That we need the Fed, we need an outside agency, we need a non-accountable company, a quasi-governmental agency with absolutely no responsibility. That is better. Just saying. CB, how do you lose your other channel? Did someone hack your account, or did YouTube close your account? No, YouTube did not close my account. No one hacked my account. What somebody did was they went to AT&T and they convinced them that they were me. They got AT&T to give my phone number to them. They then used the SMS feature of my phone number to compromise the password protection on my account. And then they deleted my account, as well as several other accounts. So it wasn't even a hack. It was a human hack. Renee, you need gold-backed paper currency. I like gold-backed paper currency. We used to have it. Question, how do I start a business if I'm already in debt? Everyone is in debt. I don't know what you mean by that. You don't need credit to start a business. You can get on the YouTubes. You can start creating flyers. You can just go to door and say, hey, I'm in business. Give me money. Nothing is stopping you from getting into business, ever. Do you think the U.S. will ever default on its debt? What will happen if that happens? Will crypto be more valuable if that happens? No. Crypto won't be more valuable. People will, if it defaults, people will be far more interested in what's happening with there than putting their money into crypto. It is unlikely that the U.S. will ever default on their debt, because they control both sides of the coin. They print their own money. They set their own interest rates. It's virtually impossible for them to default on their own debt. Now, other countries may, and it may put us in a tight bind, but impossible for the U.S., in my view. Well, I should never say it's impossible, but highly unlikely. That's what John Wayne says. The U.S. will never default on its own debt. If they did, the whole world would crash. It's true. Running a company on debt is the norm to decrease income tax. No, if you're running a company and creating debt in order to reduce your costs, that's crazy. You do not run a company based on your tax situation. However, there are several things that you can do and take advantage of in the United States in order to reduce your taxes that make a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense just to start up a company just to get some tax benefit, quite frankly, as long as you have a good, having a home-based office offers huge tax shelter. All right, John Wayne asks, would crypto be more valuable? Oh, I have to go back up and reference your other. Would it be more valuable in the event of a debt crisis? Well, like I said, if there was a debt crisis, money would be short and people wouldn't have then money to buy crypto. So I don't see how it would be more valuable. John Wayne says, Interactive Brokers is a great platform, but TradeStation is slightly better. Well, I would say this. I would say Interactive Brokers is a fair to good company. They have good commissions. Their platform totally sucks balls. TradeStation is an okay company with good commissions, and their platform is kick-ass. But it has some shortcomings too. So, in that analysis, I would say that they come out about even. The cool part about Interactive Broker, though, is that you can use other platforms that are way better than their native platform, which I think sucks balls. But their commission and their availability to markets is very, very good at Interactive Broker. What are your thoughts on Tastyworks? I like Tastyworks. I like their tools. I think their tools are fantastic. The founder of Tastyworks was the original founder of Thinkorswim, that is now owned by TD Ameritrade. And Thinkorswim is the de facto standard for trading options. Tastyworks is a great options and futures trading platform. Very graphical. And from that point of view, I really like it. I really do. And I think the commission structure is okay. And also their website has a huge library of great videos and their daily show. But don't go watch their daily show. Stay right here. Ali asks, BitMEX can manipulate price using other exchanges and scam own users since users trade according other exchanges. I mean, everybody can do this. Liquidity gap is huge, but people reference Bitfinex. I used to use Bitfinex. Don't really like it. So, I don't know. Just seems like a non-point for me. They're all scamming. They're all unregulated, so one's as good as the next. John Wayne, Tasty Trades. Well, tastytrade.com is their website for the show, and Tastyworks is their platform for trading. Not familiar with Tastyworks. I see they're an options broker. Yes, they're very, very good tools, by the way. You got to get used to them. So, if you've been following Tasty Trades for a while, it's not so hard. Sash, it's a good idea to adopt the gold standard, but they will dismantle it within a decade. All right, so you're just repeating what you said before. Yes, it was a social engineering hack. Kanye's access to his phone is 0000000. He logged into his phone when he was with Trump. The news cameras broadcast him logging in. I'm sure that someone notified him and that he changed that. Those type of things don't go unnoticed. When do you see they will let it dump from 6K levels? Why reason for 6K for so long now? Well, it really hasn't been that long. It just seems that long because you're anxious. Wow, I can't believe we're at an hour already. Almost done with the chat. BTC is very good to short now, or from 7K. Thanks, Jaja. Bless, man, your blessings, and helped me to make a lot of money. Well, thank you. You're welcome. Arakara, as of now, what do you have in your trade setup? As I trade in equity options at this time, do you have trade setups for equities like you used to for the FANG stocks? So the answer is right now, right this moment, we're doing all futures and Forex. However, starting next week, we will be including equities. And we're going to start with the FANG stocks, quite frankly. Be careful with investing in FANG stocks. GDPR is going to cause FB and Google heartache. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about their relative performance. All we care about is their individual performance and patterns. Actually, we don't care about it. The AI does. So we don't really care if they go up or down. Jason Koo, I really respect you for reading all of the comments. Well, thank you. CB, will you go long in the stock market after the midterm, or will you buy the dip now? Well, I'm not taking any long-term positions right now. I'm evaluating. And yes, I will be buying the dip. Sorry, Ernie, answering some questions in your chat. I understand. That's okay. Addison Coggins. Wait, I like having my balls sucked. So should I go to, what site is that? Amazing service? Obviously a troll. But welcome anyway, Addison. Kanye was high in the Oval. Probably a true statement in the Oval Office yesterday. Kanye's bipolar. He was off his meds. Well, actually, he said that that was a misdiagnosis for bipolar. And Renee, finally, the last comment. So which platform is good to use? Because interactive broker platform looks so complicated with like volume profile, et cetera, to get into the proper trading. Like I said, I like, they're all complicated, every single one of them. So they're, what you need to do is you need to figure out what works for you in that platform and concentrate on that. I would say Tastyworks is probably one of the easier ones to use. John Wayne, all platforms take so much time to get used to. Each one has its nuances. That's very true. And 33 Mag, I got the whales memo. They will do some shady things and choose some weird coins to pump. I will contact you on Discord about it if you like, if you can use it. Oh, sure. I'd love to hear that stuff and see it. I'm not going to buy anything or pump, I really don't care, but I would like to see whether or not the info is valid. Yes, John Wayne, that's right. Hit the likes, people. Hit those likes right now. All right, so we've come to the end. It takes a little while, and there's a lot of comments. And once this show goes on, I'm going to have to be a little bit more selective on reading these comments. But I really appreciate everybody showing up. And if you're looking for a great alert service, something that can definitely add to your overall strategies, then I would suggest the AI setups. I think I've gone above and beyond in proving that their validity over the last, 9 months, showing at least an 85% win rate and a huge return on capital. Any one of those trades could pay for an entire year of the service. And I mean, that is an objective fact. And anybody that's following this that has been in the Discord, you can certainly validate that with them. All right. It's $99 a month. It is peanuts compared to the potential of it. And quite frankly, it is really something. I would encourage you to go to the front page. There's a little info link there and read a little bit about it. You'll find that we don't really understand the entire thing and why it works, because it is kind of a neural net. It does things that are way beyond our capabilities by analyzing literally millions of patterns or millions of different combinations of patterns and looking at data going back 20 years and then spitting out what it deems are the best probabilities. I mean, how it finds them, don't know. I think, we'd have to do some kind of forensics and then look at, that net that it created and do some, but I don't know if that would tell us anything. Yeah. Thanks, Mag. All right, everybody, thank you very much. Next week, I'm going to be on Twitch, and I will put out a video on Monday morning, putting that out, and also this weekend, making sure that everybody gets the link, because I'm going to take this show over to there, because they claim over there that they're going to be able to deliver 500 to 3,000 people in those shows, and that would be a great thing for me, and I think it would be a great thing for everybody. So we're going to try it out for a little bit, and if it works out, that'll be the new home. If it doesn't, I'll come back here. But in the meantime, I'm going to start creating, content-rich videos with graphics and other things like I've done in the past, and then produce them here. And I'll also take the replay from Twitch and bring it over here. All right, guys and gals. I'm sure there are some gals out there. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.